This week, can this gadget help the city pump the brakes on skyrocketing auto thefts? Plus, the search is on for the suspect who shot 2 women in the Bronx. And an NYPD detective dies 33 years after being shot in a botched robbery.
He is a hero. He is my hero.
Right now, Fox 5's Crime in the City. Here are the crimes across the 5 boroughs. We start this week in the Bronx for a look at the city's latest plan to fight back against soaring car thefts.
With a major spike in car thefts here in the city, Mayor Eric Adams has a new plan to fight back against thieves. The city donated Apple AirTags to track down the stolen vehicles. How many did they donate? Fox 5's Briella Tomasetti is live at One Police Plaza with some answers. Good morning, Briella.
Yeah, Dan, good morning to you. 500 Apple AirTags to be exact. And believe it or not, people are actually learning how to steal cars on TikTok. That's what police say, at least. A new challenge is showing them how to hijack Kias and Hyundais with, get this, a simple USB cord.
Decreasing shootings, decreasing homicides, decreasing robberies, larcenies. But the aggravated number of grand larceny order continues to drive up our crime in the city.
According to Mayor Adams, crime in most major categories is trending downward, with one big exception. Car thefts are out of control across the 5 boroughs. The latest NYPD crime statistics seem to reflect that. Grand larceny auto is up 13% citywide compared to this time last year, with nearly 4,500 vehicles reported stolen. And over the past month, car thefts have jumped by more than 36%. For that reason, city officials are suggesting this.
This simple device, a simple AirTag, hidden in a car at a location that a person is not aware of, is an excellent tracking device.
That's right. They say get an Apple AirTag. It'll cost you about $30. You can connect it to your iPhone to see if your car has been stolen or if it's on the move.
You download the app to your phone. You deploy this AirTag the way you want to deploy it in your car, wherever you feel comfortable with. And when the AirTag starts moving vis-a-vis your vehicle, your phone will be alerted.
The 43rd Precinct, which covers the Bronx neighborhoods of Castle Hills, Soundview, and Parkchester, has been hit particularly hard. The area has seen 207 car thefts since the beginning of this year. Police are now donating 500 AirTags to car owners there in coordination with the local nonprofit Association for a Better New York. As for what's driving some of the car thefts, the mayor and the NYPD say a TikTok challenge targeting Hyundais and Kias.
They actually shows in this challenge of stealing the car, they actually show how to use the everyday cord you charge your phone, how to jumpstart the car. When you look at July 22, you're seeing the spike that we are experiencing now because of what is happening on, or a large part of what's happening on social media.
Next, we visit Brooklyn to remember the NYPD detective who died over 3 decades after the shooting that left him in a coma.
Back in 1990, Troy Patterson was shot in the head by robbers while washing his car. He never regained consciousness.
Fox 5's Lisa Evers is live at the funeral home in Crown Heights, Brooklyn, where his body just arrived to a hero's salute. Lisa.
Well, Natasha and Steve, it was a very moving moment here just about an hour and a half ago as the body of Detective Troy Patterson was brought here from the hospital where he'd been in a coma for decades. Now, let me show you some video that we have of what happened earlier as this tribute and honor guard of NYPD officers lined the street of Bedford Avenue in front of the Erskine Funeral Home here. Detective Troy Patterson was just 27 years old when in 1990 he was washing his car on the street in his Bed-Stuy neighborhood. He had vowed at that time not to leave Brooklyn. He was washing his car when he was confronted by 3 teens. They demanded money from him, according to the reports, and something happened, and then they shot him in the head. From that time on until just recently, he was fighting for his life. His family had never given hope on him for all those years. They said, we're praying for a miracle, praying for a miracle. His son, Troy Patterson Jr., was with him. Police officials every year held a vigil in his honor and his memory because he inspired so many as an African-American officer at the time, leading the charge and paving the way, trailblazing really, for other African-American officers to join the NYPD. He was committed, deeply committed to the people of New York City, and even though he was just 27 years old at the time that he was shot, he had already earned 6 commendations for bravery and service to the city. Now he's being remembered by one of his friends who was with him in the NYPD Police Academy, retired NYPD detective and co-founder of 100 Blacks in Law Enforcement, Clifton Hollingsworth. I spoke with him earlier this afternoon, and here's how he is remembering his good friend, his brave hero, a hero for the city, Detective Troy Patterson. Here's what Detective Hollingsworth had to say.
To rename a street after Troy on Jefferson Avenue, I'm hoping that they would be able to do that now with no obstacles. He's a hero. He is my hero. He is a guy that gave the ultimate sacrifice, his life, for the city of New York to make sure that it was safe.
Now, I spoke with a spokesperson for the family, and he told me that they're finalizing these final arrangements for him. But judging from what you saw today and the way that the NYPD is vowing to remember him and honor his legacy, that those arrangements will be public and made in a very short time.
Back to the Bronx now, where 2 women were shot in broad daylight along the Grand Concourse.
Search is on site for the person who shot 2 women in the Bronx this afternoon. It happened just before 2 o'clock along the Grand Concourse. Authorities say a 44-year-old woman was shot in the leg, torso, and arm, while a 52-year-old woman was shot in the leg. Both are in stable condition tonight. The gunman ran off from the scene. It's unclear if the women were innocent bystanders or they were targeted.
Up in the Wakefield section, NYPD are on the lookout for a group of women accused of assaulting a 68-year-old MTA worker.
Police are searching for a group of people accused of attacking an MTA employee at a Bronx subway station. Now, it happened on Sunday, April 16th at 8:15 in the morning at 241st and Wakefield station. Police say a group of women got in a fight with the 68-year-old MTA employee before one beat him in the head with a broomstick and the others punched him. The group then took off. That employee was treated for injuries at the scene. If you have any information, call Crime Stoppers. That number is 1-800-577-TIPS.
Moving to Queens, police are searching for the suspect who punched, then sexually assaulted an unconscious woman.
Searching for a suspect wanted for raping a woman in Queens. It happened early Sunday morning in Maspeth. Investigators say the 49-year-old victim was walking home when the suspect was on a motorized scooter, approached her. She climbed onto the back of that scooter and was driven to 48th Avenue and 72nd Street. That's where the suspect punched her in the face. The victim hit her head, falling to the ground, and lost consciousness. That's when police say that suspect raped her. She was taken to an area hospital in serious but stable condition. But if you have any information, call Crime Stoppers. That number, 800-577-TIPS.
Next in Brooklyn, a man is attacked and cut by 2 suspects at a Borough Park subway station.
And this morning, police are also looking for 2 suspects wanted for an assault on a D-train platform at 62nd Street and Utrecht Station in Borough Park, Brooklyn. Investigators say the 22-year-old victim was approached by 2 people who asked what he was looking at before punching, kicking, and cutting him. The suspects boarded the next train and left. The victim went to the hospital in stable condition. Officials believe the suspects are in their late teens. Anyone with information is asked to call Crime Stoppers.
And finally, leaving the city, 2 people are shot and killed in Newark. One of the victims, just a 7-year-old boy.
The whole city is hurting today.
Newark Mayor Ras Baraka makes a passionate plea to the community after seeing the body of a 7-year-old in the hospital, one of 3 people killed Wednesday night.
Dangerous. It's just crazy. It's just not safe anywhere anymore.
Police swarmed the neighborhood of 363 Johnson Avenue, responding to a 911 call around 8:30. They say a man walked into the home, opening fire, shooting, and killing a little boy inside along with a man.
Sickening. Yeah, my son is 10, so I could only imagine, you know.
A third man inside was also shot but able to escape, as was a woman who jumped from the second-floor window, fleeing to a family member's house.
He had blood on him. He had on a white shirt, and I'm not sure what color blue jeans. And then a car came up the one-way street the opposite way and turned around, and I believe he got in that vehicle.
Police say when they arrived, they found the gunman who tossed the weapon and took off. As police chased him, he pulled out his second gun, and officers opened fire, killing him.
My heart goes out and I grieve for the families that are involved in this, every family member who have lost a person in this tragic incident.
The mayor explaining the investigation is ongoing, and while a motive has not been determined, police believe the shooter did not go in the house to murder, and he and the victims involved knew each other, but drugs and 3 weapons were found inside.
The major link is poverty. People are aggravated, they're angry, they're hungry, they're resulting in drugs instead of other things, and this sometimes is what you get.
And that's this week's Crime in the City. Subscribe for more at youtube.com/Fox5NY.